Hey there, Brighton community. I'm Paul. This is Circular Motion. Let's talk about live albums. Hi there, Brighton community. It's Paul bringing you another look at my live albums. We're going to look at Bootlegs this week. But before I get on, a couple of things. First of all, massive thanks to Rob Walker at Let the Music Play, who gave me a shout out at the weekend. It drove a little bit of traffic my way, and I'm eternally grateful for that. And thanks for watching as well, Rob. And thanks to Rachel at I'm the Music Man, because she was hosting a live stream at the time that Rob gave me the shout out, and it's all really much appreciated, and it makes me feel like I am part of the Vine community. So seriously, thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the like button and tickle the old notification bell. If you're coming back for more, thank you for coming back. I hope I keep you enthralled, although I'm not sure anyone wants to listen to me drone on about records for 20 minutes, but I'm grateful that you do. So it's a nice little outlet for me. But anyway, let's crack on without much further ado. So first off, this is part 3, and part 1 was looking at albums up to 1980 in my collection. Part 2 was 1980 onwards, and Colin Fitzgerald's an old friend of mine who had watched last week's video, I think, or the first one, and he said, "Oh, what about Rory Gallagher? Have you tried the 1974 Live in Ireland album?" And I thought, "Oh, I haven't," but I thought, hang on a minute, I do have a Rory Gallagher live album, this one. So thanks for reminding me, Colin. And I will check out the Live in Ireland one. But this one is from the World Tour 1979 to 1980, recorded at various dates. It's a cracking album. It was actually my friend Brian Blackburn. So Brian, how are you doing? Again, another shout out for you. He recommended this to me. We were sat at work, and he called me over to his desk and said, "Oh, Rory Gallagher stage struck. Check it out on Amazon Music." So I went over back to my desk and gave it a go. And yeah, I was blown away by it. I always expected Rory Gallagher, because I'll be honest, I've not listened to a lot of Rory Gallagher. I'm quite a heathen. I always expected him to be quite bluesy, and this is quite a rocky album. I was pleasantly surprised. So it's a great album. It's got some great tracks: Shin Kicker, Wayward Child, Brute Force and Ignorance, which is excellent, Moonchild, Bad Penny. Side 2's got Follow Me, Bought and Sold, Last of the Independents, and the epic Shadow Play. The sound quality is really good. It's a really nice pressing. It's a reissue, obviously. It's got a little barcode on the back there. It's nicely packaged. I think it was only about 15 quid on Amazon, because I ordered it the same day that I listened to it on Amazon Music. I thought, well, yeah, I'm gonna have that. And yeah, I can't. It's a nice little snapshot of history. It's something a little bit different for Rory Gallagher fans, I suppose. And it's a nice sort of jumping in point for anyone that's not familiar with his work. So give it a go. Give it a go. Okay, so let's now talk about bootlegs. So let me take you back to a land before, not time, but before the internet, when we would go out and watch bands, and we'd come back, and then there'd be a record fair at some point, and we'd go, and there'd be tables laid out with records and blah blah blah, but there'd also be loads of tapes that people had ingeniously recorded at concerts, so we could go and buy recordings of the concerts that we've been to, or recordings of concerts that we wish we'd been to, which was really good. And these were in kind of 2 categories. They were soundboard recordings generally, or they were somebody holding the tape deck up in the back of the auditorium or the venue and just recording it. And they varied in sound quality. It was a bit hit and miss. You took your chance. But overall, I remember them being quite good. I had a lot of fun memories. And of course, nowadays, you've got YouTube, and people just take their phones and record it for posterity, and it is brilliant. One of the beautiful things about the internet is there's all this archiving going on. So that's brilliant. So what's that got to do with bootlegs? That's just like a little bit of an introduction to the kind of recordings we're looking at today, because none of these really are legitimate sort of official band releases. What the majority of them are, though, are quite nicely professionally packaged radio broadcasts. So, and I'm going to start with this one. This was one of the first records I bought after I got back into vinyl. It's Queen at the Summit in Houston in 1977. It's quite a brilliant performance, actually, and if you've got Amazon Music, it's on there under the guise of the Millionaire Waltz, and I really, if you're a Queen fan, or if you just like listening to live recordings, I urge you to go and give it a go, because it is, you know, it's probably one of the best recordings of Queen that I've heard, you know, and I've heard quite a lot. And this I got this from Coda Records, who, they're okay. If you can see, it's a nice green vinyl. It's pushed as the News of the World in concert, which it really isn't. And then on this album, there are only 2 tracks from News of the World, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions. But it's nicely packaged, it's nice, and it's like got a fake Japanese obi strip there. It says Japan edition green vinyl, but it's, you know, I actually don't think this was specifically released in Japan. The Summit in Houston is a nice venue, or I'm not sure if it's still there, but they used to record quite a lot of different bands. They used to video them, or film them rather. So if you go on YouTube and put in the Summit Houston, you might find a few recordings on there of bands that you like. But anyway, I got this. It is from a radio broadcast. The mix on Amazon Music is really good. This, not so good. It's very top heavy. There's a lot of sibilants on there, and it's just, you know, it does sound like a radio broadcast, but you get what you pay for. And you can see they've done quite a lot of stuff to try and make it look official. They've put the little Queen logo there, but it's not really the Queen logo. That is a mixture of the by royal appointment, which if you live in England you'll know that any company that actually supplies anything to the Queen or the royal family, they get a by royal appointment seal. That's what that is, with Queen's heads stuck in and their name stuck around the seal there. But yeah, quite clever, quite clever. It's nice, it's glossy, it's okay, you know, for the money. It was decent enough. But then they followed it up with a double 10-inch release, which increased the set list slightly. So this one, it starts off as you'd expect with We Will Rock You, which is the live fast version. This one, strangely for some reason, misses that off and goes straight into Brighton Rock. Now anyone that is familiar with Queen Live knows they never open with Brighton Rock, to my knowledge at least. But it is nice. It's again, it's a 2-disc set. There's a poster which opens out into the cover art really, which has a little pairing really, apart from having Frank, this little Frank there, who is the robot off the front of the News of the World album. It's got a nice track listing though: Brighton Rock, Somebody to Love, Death on Two Legs, Killer Queen, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, I'm in Love with My Car, Get Down, Make Love, The Millionaire Waltz, which is really good. You're My Best Friend, Love of My Life, White Man 39, Now I'm Here, Stone Cold Crazy, Bohemian Rhapsody, Keep Yourself Alive, Time of the Down, We Will Rock You, With the Champions, and Breathe. So yeah, The Millionaire Waltz is a song that they only really played live on sort of maybe the day at the races and the News of the World tours. It certainly didn't endure sort of past 1980, so it really is nice to sort of have this kind of record of it played live. This was billed as green spatter vinyl. Instead, it's kind of translucent and looks like someone's dropped a couple of crayons into the press when they started doing it. But it sounds, you know, as pressings go, it sounds really nice. They polished it up a little bit mix-wise, so it does sound a little better. And again, this is available on Coda Records website still, I believe. What made this kind of like a reasonable purchase was, apart from the poster, you've got access to an ebook and an online documentary, which I think you can get on YouTube anyway. I think it's just the John Peel stuff from the 40th anniversary release, but it's still worth checking out. Whether you're a Queen fan or not, it's a nice little bit of history. Okay, so sticking with that same concert, and those of you that watched my Vinyl Tag, the very first video I did for Vinyl Community, will already have seen this. This is what I would call a proper bootleg. This somebody's had the great idea of doing a limited edition run of these, numbered, signed, beautifully packaged though. And this is an excellent soundboard recording from the Summit Houston, Texas, USA, December 11th, 1977. So this is the full concert. And I paid a lot more for this than I did for those two combined, but it was incredibly worth it. It's got the full set list on, from We Will Rock You, which they do the slow kind of hand clap intro, into the fast intro, and then into everything else. It's got everything from drum solos, guitar solos. It's got Jailhouse Rock on there, as well as one of the encores before they do God Save the Queen. Totally worth it, and the packaging is really nice. So it's in this nice glossy box, which is illustrated both inside and out. Put that there. You get this fantastic reproduction tour program, which is full of like really cool pictures. Roger Taylor there, who's one of my favourite musicians. Don't judge me. Pictures of Brian and everything. So yeah, it's got the artwork from the album as well, by Frank Kelly Freeze, I think it is. I'll just put that there. Then those were the sleeves that the albums came in. Don't worry, I haven't just dumped them. There's the hype sticker that was on. There was a copy of this on the cellophane that came with it, and then we've got the actual records themselves. There's a poster as well, which I won't open up, but it's just Freddie Mercury and then Brian May just doing this stuff. So the inner sleeves are all nicely printed, and they've got the track listing for each record that goes in, and it's actually pressed on this nice smoky vinyl, as you can see there. And it's funny because it says Houston Shake Your Asses on the front there of the record, and this one says Rock That Texas Ass. So I don't know whether there was some kind of, I don't know, mix up at the printing press maybe, but it is a really nice set. And out of all of them, this is the best sounding mix as well. So if you're a Queen completist, this is definitely worth searching for. Discogs list them for about £100. This one wasn't a little bit more than that. Number 262. Limited edition 300. So it's limited to 300. So mine's in the back end of it. So 2 posters and replica tour program and that little hype sticker. Totally worth it. It really is a phenomenal piece. It's to me, I'd rather pay money for this than rehashing the same old stuff that they do, or that ridiculously bad Queen Live Around the World with Adam Lambert. No offence to Adam Lambert, he's a great vocalist, but they ruined his performance with that recording. It's just awful. And that's that for that one recording, I promise. Still sticking with Queen though. Coda Records, they were one of my favourite record companies, and I kept just getting stuff from them. My dad got me these for my birthday a few years back. So we've got, I think, so these 2 are from Argentina. These from Buenos Aires, 28th of February 1981. So it's basically most of the sets on 2 records, although they weren't hyped as part of a 2-disc set. As you can see, they've got the Japanese sort of fake Obi strip there. They're both on clear vinyl. Let's give you a quick taste there. And on the back, we've got a little bit of blurb that says, in its original form, vinyl is clear. Traditionally, record plants have added carbon black to the vinyl for aesthetic reasons. However, carbon black adds a static charge to the vinyl which attracts dust. This recording is therefore brought to you on clear vinyl to produce the best possible audio reproduction subject to the limitations, and there's a disclaimer, of the original radio or TV sound source. Again, this is a very obvious sort of FM broadcast. It's very top heavy. Again, there's not a lot of bottom end in it, but it is what it is. And as a snapshot of Queen Live, I'll take it. And their South American tour was quite a legendary experience by all accounts. I think when they finished the tour, they had to deceive the authorities into believing that they were still loading stuff on the wagon, and the authorities stole all the AstroTurf that Queen had bought and put down in the stadium, the final stadium in Buenos Aires, while they were loading their gear on, because Argentina at the time wasn't, let's say corruption might have been right or not. If you're from Argentina, I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's just what I've read. Finally, for Queen, we've got Tokyo. Tear It Up in Tokyo. So this is from the Works tour. This is a little bit better sound quality because obviously technology has moved on a little bit. And it's a nice little record, great vinyl. But they did for a while. They were they got a lot of money. I'll be honest with you, over at Coda Records. This is another Coda release. This is Rush 2112 in concert. Now this is, this is almost like an actual legitimate release compared to those. It is really good. So this is from a concert broadcast live from the Kiel Auditorium in Missouri on the 12th of February 1980, and it kicks ass. It really does. For me, it's better than the Queen, the Rush in Rio album that they brought out a few years back. That was dreadful. Sound-wise, this is the closest thing to Exit Stage Left, which is one of my favourite Rush live albums that you're likely to find. This itself is exactly what it says it is as well, unlike the Queen one that said News of the World. This is 2112 in concert, so side A is essentially Spirit of Radio, then the whole of the 2112 from part 1, the overture, right through to the grand finale. It is exceptional. B-side is Natural Science and Xanadu. Again, two epic Rush tracks. The playing is great on this, you know, and the sound is really good on this. And you know, it's not note for note like Rush do. They play a little bit in there, maybe not so much Neil Peart, but they do play a little bit in there, and it is worth listening to. Again, this is on Amazon Music if you're interested. And then I got this because I'm just a sucker for stuff like this. This is same format as the Queen one, except this was supposed to be solid blue, but it's, again, they've dropped some blue and black crayons into the vinyl before they've pressed it by the looks of it. This one has more of the set listing on, so it does include, so they miss out Spirit of Radio on side 1, and they just give you the whole of 2112 on the first side. Spirit Radio then is on the second side with Natural Science. Then disc 2, you've got Xanadu, Finding My Way intro, which goes into Anthem, Bastille Day. And finally side D, In the Mood, and an epic version of La Villa Strangiato, which is one of my favourite Rush tracks. Again, there is a poster, or there was a poster with this that had links to an ebook and a little bit of a documentary. So, you know, for the price that you pay, which is roughly about 25 quid, and they usually have deals on, it was quite decent. I generally don't tend to go to Coda Records very much these days because they are money grabbers. They're quite greedy. Not so much with those releases, although they have crept up in price a little. It's mainly they've started to sell legitimate recordings, and when I can walk into HMV of all places and buy Rod Stewart's Greatest Hits on white vinyl for 20 quid, I don't know why they're then charging 60 quid for the same record, and that's the kind of level that they're at. But, you know, what are you going to do? Final bootleg, final record for today. I've got this. So this was recommended by Dylan at Noble Records. So if by any chance you are watching this, Dylan, thank you very much. You continue to blow my mind with the things that you recommend. It's ropey quality wise, but it's Iggy Pop, and that kind of fits. It's got that same kind of raw energy that you get on like Search and Destroy. So yeah, it's not very many tracks. I Want to Be Your Dog, TVI, Dirt, Give Me Some Skin on the first side. Give Me Some Skin is Iggy Pop on vocals, James Williamson on guitar, and Ron and Scott Ashton on bass and drums, respectively. Then it's got Fun Time, Raw Power, Turn Blue, and I Got a Right, which has that same lineup. The other tracks have Iggy Pop on vocals, Rick Gardiner on electric guitar, Tony Sales on bass, Hunter Sales on drums, and David Bowie on keyboards and cigarettes. So side 1, the Bowie tracks were recorded in April 1977 at Santa Monica Civic Auditorium in California, and the 2 other tracks, which are studio tracks, were recorded during the Raw Power sessions in London, England. And it is, again, what I like about these albums is that they are little snapshots of history. They are little things, you know, you can get the finished product, and the finished product's usually really good and it sounds really nice, but this stuff is priceless to me because it just gives you that more of a rounded picture. So yeah, if you can catch up with any of these records that I've had today, you know, you can get this off eBay. I got this quite cheap actually. I paid around 20 quid for it from what I remember. But if you've got any questions about any of the records that I've shown today, please hit me up down below in the comments. If you have any recommendations for me, I would be grateful to hear them. I'm always looking for new experiences musically, whether it's a live album, a bootleg to catch hold of, or even just an album that you think I might like. And bear in mind, I am trying to expand my horizons, so I'm open to anything, really. It's been a pleasure, as always. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week for my midweek video. See how my time goes and see how my content goes. In the meantime, stay safe, keep well, and see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.